Started. Today's topic is going to be The Richest Man in Babylon. This is a classic by George Clason. And I'm going to walk you through what is the foundation for almost all financial planning. As I mentioned in my intro, I'm a PhD in finance and have taught financial planning for well over 30 years. And no one ever seems to know where the field started. And fundamentally, it was probably this book written in the 30s that is everybody bases everything we do in the field of financial planning is right here. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to go back to the source and show you kind of how to get your financial life in order. Okay. It starts off, there's a little bit of a story in the book. It's a series of fables about money management, talks about three childhood friends, one of which became the richest man in Babylon. His name is Arcad. And the other two basically there's a bit of a dialogue going on between them throughout the book. And they all seem to wonder why their friend Arcad became filthy rich, and both of them are more or less struggling. And very common, people do this, talk about this today. This is part of why the book is so timeless. Everybody has examples of where they know somebody from high school, perhaps, or a relative or whatever. They have become extremely successful, and you're kind of wondering, well, why not me? And that's the overall theme of the book. And then they're going to tell a series of stories. And throughout the book, they're going to sort of illustrate what Arcad, the richest man in Babylon, did versus what they did. So that is the story sort of underlying the entire book. It's a little archaic language, and a lot of people find it difficult to get through. That is, again, part of why I'm trying to do the book, to take what are very good concepts, but in some way it's explained in a way that is difficult for today's listener to follow. So that's kind of what we're doing. And the rest of the book and the rest of my content is basically the lesson. And as you're going to see here, it's timeless. It's sort of like high school. All of us went through high school, and regardless of whether you went through it 10 years ago or 40 years ago or last week, the stuff going on is pretty much the same. And the same relationships. There's the cool group, there's the not so cool group, there are the athletes, there are the geeks. If you watch a coming of age movie today about life in high school, the reason it works is you can remember it even though it was 40 years ago for you. And that's the way a lot of the stuff in this book is too. Even though they talk about it being thousands of years ago, it could be happening today. First, we have to establish money is important. A lot of people get offended by that. I didn't say it's the only thing, but money is really important. Success is measured by money in this world. It's, again, not the only thing, but it ranks right up there with oxygen. It's hard to enjoy life without money. If you can't accept that, if you're going to tell yourself about, well, gee, rich people are bad, there's nothing much we can really do for you. Because if you believe money is bad, you're not going to do much to get it. And even if you say you will outwardly, your subconscious is going to fight you all the way. There's, by the way, no shortage of money. A myth is, well, there's not enough money out there. No, you don't have money. There are tons of money out there. Just you don't have it. Hopefully this course will teach you how to find some of that money. The laws of money are universal, timeless, as we mentioned earlier. They have a section in his book called "The 7 Cures for a Lean Purse." And again, that fundamentally what I was getting at before with the language. Nobody talks about a lean purse nowadays and so forth. But it is basically, you don't have money. How do we fix it? And now there are 2 reasons people tend to fail financially. One, they never learn the principles of building wealth, which, again, there are principles, there are rules. It can be learned. You don't wake up one day knowing all the things. It's all learnable. And that's fundamentally while you're here taking the course. We are going to teach you. So even if you don't know now or have never known because you were not taught it in school, that's okay. But you're never going to be able to use that as an excuse ever again, because we're going to fix it. Now, second reason people fail financially, this one's a little tougher. They choose not to follow them, because what I'm going to tell you is different perhaps than what you've been doing. As I mentioned in my intro, a lot of people don't like different. They don't want to change, and they refuse to change. And if that's you, you're going to have trouble. So what I'd like you to do is sit back, soak in the material we are going to introduce you to, and then you want to take action. You have to accept responsibility for your decisions. It's not luck, not talent, not breaks that cause people to be successful. It's they did certain things a certain way. So one of the first things you have to do, you got to make a decision. You want to be rich? If you were here in front of me, when I have a class, I ask how many of you want to be rich? Lots of hands go up. You have to have a burning desire. You got to make it your definite purpose in life. Again, not the only thing, but money, as I mentioned, is important. You have to decide. I am going to spend a significant amount of my time and effort to learn this. I'm going to study. I'm going to be disciplined. I'm going to take notes. That's what we're shooting for. These are all critical components to financial success. Other of those classics will talk about these things too. It's in Think and Grow Rich as well. Most people work hard. They work for a long time. If you work hard, work for a long time, you make money. At the end of the year, though, or at the end of your lifetime, most people have very little to show for it. So they did everything they thought they were supposed to, and it's gone. Where did all the money go? And so that's the next thing we're going to look at. Where did the money go?